Hi guys and welcome. Today is another Dior holiday video. The other day I did a video and that showcased the warmer of the two quints. So today I'm going to be using the cooler one, and I'm also going to be using the other luminizer because I did pick up both. And also I'm going to be trying out a couple more lipsticks as well. So I've done my skincare for the morning. It is very early morning here in New Zealand. I've got a lot of videos to do this week, and I also put on another layer of sunscreen about 10 minutes before I started recording this video. So now I just have to pop on some primer. So today I'm going to use the Sisley one. I've been using this quite a bit lately. I really like the Chanel one, but I saw this in my drawer probably about a week or two ago and thought, I haven't been using this for ages, and I really love this primer. It gives just a beautiful base before you put on your foundations, and I actually have a backup of this as well. It is really gorgeous. So I'm just going to let this sit for about 2 or 3 minutes and then I'll put on some foundation. Now in the other video I put on the Dior Backstage foundation, which I think is really lovely, and I mentioned that I'd only purchased it just a little while ago. I hadn't tried it since it had been reformulated, and now that it's been reformulated I really like it. But today I'm going to use the foundation stick. This is a new release from Dior this year. I did a dedicated video on this, also showing it in natural light as well. This is just absolutely beautiful, and I really love the packaging as well. So first of all I'm just going to swipe some just on the left side of my face, and I'm just going to grab a foundation brush from in my collection here. Now this foundation is quite highly fragranced. It does dissipate after you've been wearing it for 2 or 3 minutes. I can't smell it anymore anyway, but just in case you are curious about trying out this foundation and you might not like fragrance in your foundations, then you wouldn't like this one. But I think the coverage of this is just absolutely beautiful. And at this stage, it goes beautifully with my oily skin. Now, when this was first released, it was cooler here in New Zealand, but now we're in spring and the weather has warmed up. So it's going to be interesting to see how this wears on my oily skin during the middle of summer. So I'll have to update you on that. But at this stage, I think this foundation is just beautiful. And before I powder my face, I'm going to use one of the contour sticks. Now this is in shade 02 Tan, so this one is meant for more as a bronzer, and because it's a cream one, I'm going to put that on before the powder. Although in saying that, I have also used this once I've put powder on my face as well, and it still just blends out really beautifully. So I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the sheer buffer, and just going to take just a little bit at a time. Now these contour sticks wear beautifully. They are really long wearing, and I also just love the way that they blend out. Now it does pay to just take a little bit at a time while you're applying it because they are quite pigmented, but as you can see they just blend out. It's just effortless. And then I'm just going to take a little bit through here as well, just like what I normally do with any other bronzer. I also have one of the contour sticks as well. I think I have shade, it is 03. And I don't wear a lot of contour because I'm not a makeup artist. So I find sometimes with contour it can go a little bit wrong. But I do find with these Dior contour sticks that they are easy to apply. And even with the contour, I find that they're also, because of the formula, they're also really forgiving. And just look at the packaging. This is the foundation stick, this is the contour, the matte, and then you've got the glossy. But they are just absolutely gorgeous. Then I'm going to apply for powder the Dior Forever. This is the cushion powder. I'm just going to put a little amount on. This is the Lumiere brush. So now let's take a look at this gorgeous eyeshadow palette. This Dior Holiday Collection is just so beautiful. This has 7 grams of product. It has a shelf life of 6 months from date of opening, and it is made in France. Now, although it has a shelf life, it says 6 months from date of opening, they last a lot longer than that. And it's not just the new formula that have got the 6-month shelf life on them. Also, their older formulas had it as well. And for me, they just tend to last just a lot longer than 6 months. So you've got this really beautiful gold packaging, and I don't want to turn it too much because it's very reflective. And here is the beautiful, it's number 863, and this is Soir de Bal, and this is beautiful. And when I first saw this collection, this is the quint that I was drawn to. I just think it is gorgeous. So I'm swatching this from left to right and top to bottom. So the first shade is a satin. Next is another satin. And then finally we've got the center shade, which is a really beautiful silver. So in this quint there aren't any mattes, but you've got, like I was saying, that beautiful silver shade there, and you've got those shades of taupe. And you've also got champagne here and beautiful pink as well. Now this one here, this pink, this also has a little bit of shift to it. Almost looks iridescent. It's really beautiful. Now because there aren't any matte shades in this quint, I may not use all of the shades. I may only use 2 or 3. And I will do another video at least on this quint and the other quint as well, because it is such a beautiful collection. So I think today probably 2 or 3 shades. Now the reason for that is with this formula, if there's no matte, when I tend to just layer and layer these type of shades, it does tend to emphasize the texture on my skin, and I don't really like that look. So I'm going to take a BK Beauty brush and I'm going to go into the deepest shade first, and I'm going to put that in the outer corner. Now the other quint, when I use that, it was quite pigmented, so I've only just very lightly tapped into the quint. I can always add a little bit more if I want to. So I'm also going to take this up into the brow bone. That is such a beautiful shade. I'm also going to put that shade on my lower lash line as well. So I'm going to take the Rapper number 3. So stay with the shade and put some of that on my lower lash line. And then I haven't added any shadow to this brush, but I'm just taking just what's left on the brush, just through the crease as well. So you just get a faint hint of that shade just over the rest of the lid, but it is gorgeous. Then we'll take Sonji. This is a soft shader, and I'm going to go into this shade as well. I've decided I'm actually going to use 4 shades, I think. I'm going to be brave and see how it goes. And I'm going to put the shade over the rest of my lid through here, and that is really beautiful as well. As I was saying, when I first saw the pictures of this for the promo photos, I just thought this quint was just gorgeous, and in person and applying it, it's really beautiful as well. So both of those shades, I am just going in very lightly with my brush. I'm not digging in at all, and you certainly get quite a lot of payoff. Now if you wanted more than what I'm applying, then you could certainly get it, because these tend to build really beautifully as well. Then I'm going to take the Rapper number 28, and I'm going to go into this shade here, and I'm going to pop that over the top of the shade that I just applied. And that should lift it really beautifully. And again, this one has that shift in it. You've got that pink in there. It's a champagne, but there's also that pink shift, and it's really, really beautiful. So I've just wiped down the Rapper 3, and I'm going to go into this silver shade here. I'm going to put some of this in my inner corner, and I'm also going to put a little bit on my lower lash line as well. Then I'm going to take the Rapper number 13 and I'm going to go into this shade here and just build up the outer corner just to give a little bit more depth. And I'm also going to put a little bit more of that same shade on my lower lash line as well. Then I'm just going to take a clean fluffy brush and just very gently just go over and just soften out all the edges. So here is the finished eye look. And I think this color story is just absolutely beautiful and it blended out beautifully. And even though there were no mattes in there, I don't find that it's emphasizing the texture on my lids. I think it turned out really pretty. So now we'll take a look at the luminizers, but before I do that, I'm just going to pop on a blush. I'm just going to use one of the Dior powder blushes. This is in the shade Chanel. And I think this is a really, really gorgeous shade. So now let's take a look at the luminizer. In today's video, I'm going to use the one, it is 001 Or Lumiere. In my previous video, I used the one Coral with the warmer Quint. These are made in Italy. They have 6 grams of product and these have a shelf life of 12 months from date of opening. And again, I've just got to hold up this packaging because it is absolutely gorgeous. And as I was saying in my previous video, it feels like a fabric texture. And even though this is more of a gold one, it isn't a yellow gold. I think it looks gorgeous and the embossing is just beautiful. So here they are side by side. So this one here is 002 Coral. And this one here is the one that I'm going to be using today. This one is the 001 Or Lumiere. So this one is the one I'm going to use today, 001 Or Lumiere. And this one here is 002 and that is Coral Lumiere. So I'm going to take the Rapper brush. This is the number 18. Now I found when I used the previous one that you only need to tap in very lightly. So that's what I'm going to do today as well. And again, I'm just going to put it on my cheekbone. And I found with the other one that these also buff out really beautifully as well. So that shade is gorgeous. Now, even though these are luminizers, I find that they do have quite a bit of bling to them. So if you find that it's a bit too much when you first put it on, if you take a brush and then buff it out, they do buff out. They're very smooth and just look gorgeous. I also find with these that they don't emphasize my texture. I think they are gorgeous and I love the shade of this. And as I was saying, it's just not too gold. It's really pretty. So I've got 2 lipsticks to try on today. One is the Rouge Dior lipstick and that is in a velvet formula. And then I've also got another one of the liquid satins as well. Now the liquid satin is in the iconic shade 999, so I'm going to put that one on last. And here is the beautiful packaging. And number 284 Rose Bavarde. And here it is swatched. And let's try this beautiful shade on. So I think that is a really beautiful shade. Those of you that have watched my previous videos know that I tend to wear more lighter lipsticks, but I do love this one. I think it is a gorgeous shade and just perfect for those of you where it is autumn now. Really, really pretty. So now I'll try on the liquid lipstick. This is the Sequin formula. So you pop them on, wait a couple of minutes, rub your lips together, and then this little sparkle comes through. Really, really gorgeous. So this is the shade 999. And here is what the doe foot looks like. And here it is swatched. Now, I spoke about this in my other video, but I really like the doe foot on these because it has the pointed end, and with a really bold lipstick like this, you have to be fairly careful or at least wear a lip liner. I don't find that, I've already tried this, and I don't find that I have to use a lip liner with it, and it is because of that pointed end, and you get a lot of control. So I've just been letting that sit for a couple of minutes. Now I'll rub my lips together and get that really gorgeous twinkle that comes out. And I don't know whether you'll be able to see it on camera, but all of a sudden there is this beautiful sparkle. Now, even though that glitter comes out, it certainly doesn't feel gritty in any way. It's just really pretty. Now, this is a really bold lipstick for me. I do have it in the bullet form as well, the shade 999, and I hardly ever wear it. But when I tried this the other day, I just thought what a beautiful shade it is, and I really love the formula of this liquid lipstick as well. It just stays put, and it's really, really comfortable on the lips, and it doesn't dry down too much and emphasize the lines either. It's a really beautiful formula. So as you can probably tell, that I'm absolutely thrilled with this Dior Holiday Collection. Every single item that I have purchased is just beautiful. The previous Quint, the warm one, that applied beautifully too, and I really liked the final look. And this one is just stunning. It was beautiful when I first saw the promo photos. It's just as beautiful in person, and it also looks really beautiful on the eyes as well. The luminizers are just beautiful. The packaging is just outstanding, and really Dior throughout this whole year have really just knocked it out of the park. I like the shade of this luminizer, the Or Lumiere, and I also like the other one as well. I really don't have a favorite between the two. Gorgeous packaging, gorgeous formula, and they also buff out really beautifully as well. I just love the lipsticks that I picked up in this collection. In my previous video in the Rouge Dior, I used the coral lipstick, and that is in the satin formula. This one is the velvet. Both formulas are really lovely, and I do love the reformulated lipsticks that Dior put out. I think they are really gorgeous. I think that these liquid lipsticks, the sequins, are beautiful, and I love it because even though you get that gorgeous twinkle, they don't feel glittery or chunky in any way, and these are also really long wearing. And I am loving the iconic shade 999. So that's it for today's video. I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.